So this morning I did an awesome articulation of what weather is and under the skin slash apparatuses that are put on it as a patch. And the main point for this was that they're not commonplace, but they're always prevalent. And so the materialization of like something like a speaker box, I fancy it if you've never had a doll and it has a voice box and you like on Velcro and you rip that open and you take it out. That's what people are inserting into their arms as birth control. So if you've never seen like this occurrence and how commonplace that is, it's so much to the tune where you wouldn't think there would be an earthquake in New Jersey or New York, but there was just one earlier. And so the more that these fine scalings that are occurring naturally when they usually aren't, are so much so that you don't even have to have a patch or something put in under your skin like a voice box to a doll. And it would be like when there's blood clots and stuff gets gummed up inside your glands, putting two and two together are almost a makeshift of like a patch that you put on your skin or something that you put under it. It isn't quite, but when it is in something that you get used to, like if you only eat a certain brand like Cheetos or you only smoke a certain brand Marlboro, it's these things that get acclimated into like, because humans are like ferrets, they adapt really well. And so with these things, when they're adapting and there's gumming up and blood clotting, it's almost as if there's a patch or when they put it on your skin, because there's only a lowest common denominator. And when there's these special ingredients that allow for weather, check out the earlier video I did. But more commonplace, and nowadays when it's doubled with like you would never see like these promotions that are always occurring nowadays, and it's where you don't even want them and they just occur. It's like the sleaziest e-bagger stuff that is in real life. And I'd like to give real life examples, but it's just small perks that people get to sell out other people who aren't in the club, like free Qdoba. And so there's these things, and or you'd notice it like if your phone, you take a picture of a special document, it blacks it out so that the document, you can't even see when it's being sent. Is this Justin Lawrence? No. So there's that, and the third, these special perks and stuff that doesn't happen. And then if you like buy something, then you get, it was the whole, I'll just call it the segment buy one get one free, because it's been doubled down as into this whole e-bagger thing where if it's too good to be true, it actually is. But this is like how things are scapegoated to makeshift. Perfect. The stuff used nowadays is defined by the public square, whether it be socialized medicine or a hive mind. And this isn't thing of a cult like. It isn't something of yoga where you bow to a statue and then you talk about your feelings in the third person. This gray area, and it's, you're not connected, you don't have a business, or you chit chat with policemen and the fire department. You're not going to be invited and picked by them to shoot their guns and slide down the fire pole. You would have to go out of your way to ask them, can I look at your clubhouse? And then they would say, yes, bring a group, not just you. And this is the thing with socializing. The used by, best used by, best sold by, and then these are not federally regulated. It's things that you run into like a flag or a mailbox, these common day things attached to with the terminology of the best used by. These are not federally regulated terms. They're slapped on by companies. And if you want to set up a formal interview with a company to ask what is their set points and thresholds where things are different and best as used by or sold by, these don't have to do with health. They're just done with taste. And this is what I learned on the news just now. And it's the moment you start asking about it in like a normal socialized setting, it's no comment. But then it's the mailbox. If you hit it with the car, and these things are overhanged into the road, some of them so much to be a few feet into the road. So the post office worker doesn't have to get out of their vehicle, and they can just go on the side of the road and do it and fulfilling the mail. But if you clip this mailbox, it's gonna be a felony, and it's a give or take thing. It's if this mailbox is leaning out into the road so far, the police could show up and just say, "Oh, don't worry about it. We don't have to even bother," or they can choose to give you a felony, and it's gonna be on your record for the rest of your life. And so when there's just these things, a flag, a mailbox, I think it's a flag if you burn it or if it touches the ground or you step on it or all three, is a felony. And it's not common known, but these things you see everywhere. And it's a certain complex where to the 9th degree, the 10th degree would be, I think, like this whole stanza where the science community thinks that the public square is so ahead of the time, even though they know that we're not, with the technologies that are being introduced, like through GMO or these drug companies. They're so far into the future with not even like the goods, cream of the crop. It's just futuristic adjuvant. These things have hydrogels and self-assembly nanoparticles are adjuvant, but there's like such futuristic adjuvant that when it's set loose, it is a frowned upon if you talked about, because you can't just, it'll call it ambush journalism. They just find them on the street and ask a question if you know they're in charge of the company. And then but that was just filler to say the 9th degree. To the nth degree is the dark energy. It's in outer space, it's everywhere. It's just energy and empty space welling up. And if this isn't the ultimate case of recycling, it's neither like digitized or mechanical. It's kind of both. And it's neither like a thing in the past where stuff in the past are original and you would think it'd be not synthetic as if it were made in present time in a lab. And so when you got stuff like this, DE, dark energy, it's like the ultimate recycling. But the more that you commonplace it as like recycling, just if you were gonna like give newspapers to like a school, so that the kids can do arts and crafts on them as a donation, it's looked at as something like that. But it isn't, because we don't have the technology to wield the dark energy as recycling. And that's the nth degree that they think the public square is at, but we're really not, because you probably had no idea what I just said as the outro. And that's kind of my point in case with the intro.